Hey everybody.
Hello.
We hope you had a great week. We were very excited to see how many people watched the video and subscribed, and we want to say thank you for that. We hope it's been just a really life-giving week for you and your family. If you recall, we talked about being a proactive parent and just doing the simple things, small things to show your child and speak love to them. And so today is our follow-up, our 5-2 follow-up, and where we take some questions that we had through the week. And so there were a couple of questions that we had, but they kind of all really resembled each other and were pretty much one basic question. That question, are we ready for
We're ready for the question.
Let's
Drum
do
roll,
this.
please.
Okay, what if my child doesn't want to hear I love you or want to spend time with me? Then what?
Does that ever happen?
Well,
Don't we just
could.
happily ever after once we try? No. So when we are noticing that our kids don't want to hear I love you, or they're having a tough time enjoying being with us, and the way we try to encourage them or say love, they're not receiving, it's actually a symptom of a deeper issue. And it's the basis of everything we're talking about. The deeper issue is we have lost track of what brings our kid love and life in their particular season. Being a proactive parent means my role isn't just, if something's wrong, I'll fix it. Being a proactive parent means I am constantly a student of what season and of what mentality my kid is in, and I understand in that season how to express love to them. So what has happened is when my kid doesn't seem to want to hear me say I love you, or they don't want to hug anymore, or I try to encourage them and they say no, the issue is not that they don't love us and not that they don't want love. Right. It's that we're not speaking their love language.
Right. So, I really don't think there is a child out there that would say that they don't want to hear I love you in some way, in what means a lot to them. There's a book called The 5 Love Languages, and probably many of you are familiar with it. It's by Gary Chapman, and we'll touch on it in another session that we have. But the basic premise is that we all have certain language, a love language that we feel most loved when people speak that, whether it is acts of service or words or physical touch. We're all very different. And so part of that is learning what is your child's love language.
This is 5-2 parenting, about 5 loaves, 2 fish. Things that don't seem big, but actually really, if we give them to Jesus, will be. Mm-hmm. It may not seem big when our kid switches sports, or their sleep schedule changes, or they get braces, or they learn to walk, or they learn to say no, or they change a friend, or a friend moves. But as parents, we're proactive. We see how they're changing, and in that season, we look at what brings them life. And what we do then is we serve that. So we want to, the key to this question of if my kid is not wanting to hear I love you and they don't seem to want to be with me, we need to, 1, slow down our personal lives. Mm-hmm. Because nothing's more important in parenting. We need to take the time to, number 2, be a student. What's bringing them life right now? What are the things they enjoy? And then 3, we need to be a servant of that. We need to become the leader of a place. We say, that's bringing them life. It's healthy. Let me get involved in that area. So if I show them love in the area that they already want and they already enjoy, they're going to get that we love them.
Right. So, for example, if I have a child who is a night owl and they always stay up late, I've had a couple of those, and it's not always easy. But I would stay up, and those were some of our very best conversations late at night. Or, for my son, he is not a night owl at all. And I haven't gotten quite good at the morning thing yet. But one thing that he does like is food. And so
Absolutely.
That's something where I could maybe make something special for him, or, that I know he really likes for dinner that night, or take him somewhere.
Take him to Chipotle.
Yeah, and just, enjoy. And it might not even be a big, deep conversation. It might not seem like there's something big happening in that moment. But again, it's those small things. They really add up.
So we slow down our life. We become a student of what does my kid care about these days? And then we find something healthy within that, and we become the servant leader of that. Now, this is the model of Jesus. In Philippians 2, it says in verse 4, "Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others. Have this mind among yourselves, which is yours in Christ Jesus, who, though he was in the form of God, did not count equality with God a thing to be grasped, but emptied himself by taking the form of a servant." God himself, who is in charge, who knows where he needs to lead us and where we need to go, took the form of a servant to help us become what we need to be. And we can't be good parents if our kids don't know that we love them. So we want to take the form of a servant in the area that brings them life. And from that, then we can lead them in the other areas that aren't as easy.
Right. And I love that point about leading them, because we are the parents. So it is our job to lead our children. And so while they may be going off in a lot of different directions, this is our family. And so we lead them in a way, not in a, we're controlling everything, but to say, this is what a healthy family looks like. And so we want to lead you in that way, but at the same time serving them in those ways that speak love to them.
So for me, one of my daughters always was a big, she loved getting a little note or letter from me. So whether it was dropping something in the lunchbox, or whether it was now sending her a postcard in college, that's her love language. My son, his sport and interest is soccer. Mine is not that, but that's what he loves. So now that's what I love. And I'm going to get involved in that, and we're going to talk a lot about that and watch TV on that. If it's a video game, that I'm not good at video games, but I'll play and be bad with him. Or if it's some of our daughters' music, as long as it's healthy, or dance, we're going to be excited about those things. And because we serve there, then we become the leader for the things that are harder.
Right. So what is love too, keep in mind that when your child is responding in certain ways, it might not be exactly what you want to in the way that you want to receive love, but be looking too, because there probably are ways that they're showing you they love them. They love you. So
that's the 5-2 follow-up. We want to encourage you, write down some comments or share some other ideas of practical ways to get in your kids' world to show them love. And you can also email us at 52parenting@gmail.com. God bless you and have a great weekend. Be a great parent during this great week.